Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Ben Pandit. I'm the residential faculty here at Mesa Community College. Today, I'm gonna uh, have talk about the writing workshop. Okay, talk about the writing workshop. So here we go. Okay, so with the writing workshop, these are the things we'll be going over today. We'll look at a little bit of background and then talk about the tips and writing process information as well. Reasons, why you're actually applying for the program, and then think about the creativity as well. Okay, how to put creativity into those writings of yours. Okay, so without further ado, just a few announcements. There's actually a pre-health workshop, and also this is QR code that you could use for the pre-health club here at the Red Mountain campus. Okay, Red Mountain campus. So if you're interested in attending pre-health club, make sure you use that QR code. This Friday for April 5th, there will be a tour at U of A Medical Center here in Phoenix, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. If you're interested, make sure you contact me. We also have an open house at AT Stills this coming Saturday at April 6th. Make sure you make reservation uh, by April 3rd with this QR code here or this link right here on the bottom. Okay, so without further ado, let me talk about my background a little bit to kind of give you some perspective. Again, my name is Dr. Ben Pandit. I was a naturopathic physician. I graduated from the Naturopathic Medical School here in Tempe, Arizona. Um, so, and during that time that I was in medical school, it was a privilege for me to um, became a member of a admission committee at the medical school. So I had I was doing that for 2 years, being the admission committee, being a part of the admission committee for 2 years. So I understand the process, understand the kind of things what they are looking for, and what kind of things that you should be doing to kind of help you stand out. Why is this important? If you whichever program you are interested in, it more likely that you will have a lot of competitors. You're going to have a lot of applicants applying for your program. Okay, regardless. Okay, every program that you're thinking of, there's actually a number of students are that are and will be applying for those programs. So how can you make your application stand out from the rest? Why do they want to pick you comparing to other people? Okay, so just if you are, let's say you are a PA, you're interested in going to PA. Uh, on average, most PA school will actually receive between 1,800 to 2,000 applicants. Okay, 1,800 to 2,000 applicants on average, and they only have 60 seats out of 1,800 to 2,000. That's the fairly normal number for the PA school. Medical school, some medical school might even go bigger than that number to 2,000, 3,000, depending on the school. The more famous school, the big name school, yes, you're going to have a whole lot more applicants. The smaller school, you may not have that many, but still you're going to be dealing within 1,000 or more applicants per year. So, and they only have 50, 60, or even 100 seat maximum. Okay. I don't really see many schools that have above 100 seat usually. Um, Most of them are running low, between 650 to 100 usually. Okay. So whatever you do, what are you trying to do is trying to make yourself stand out from the rest of the crowd. Okay. And this is one of the things that is really important in terms of making yourself stand out, is to to have a good essay, to have a good letter essay to answering the questions. So keep that in mind as you going through these. Okay, so how long do you think the admission officer read your essay? How long? You could pause this video and then think about it and then answer the questions. Okay. On average, the admissions officer usually takes about 4 to 10 minutes. Okay, 4 to 10 minutes. And that's including everything by going through the application, looking at everything, your application itself, that everything completed correctly, that you actually have everything, looking at your GPA, looking at the letter of recommendations, looking at your essay as well. So that's 4 to 10 minutes completely, looking at everything. To boil down to reading your essay alone and reading the letter of recommendation alone, usually those will take between 30 seconds all the way to a couple of minutes max. Okay, a couple of minutes max. So imagine most admission officer or committees will actually have an upward of 50 to 100 applicants for them to go through. Okay, 50 to 100 applicants. And they're going to see same thing over and over again. If they start seeing the same thing over and over again, that's boring to them. You're not going to be standing out. Okay, so you want to make sure that your essay stands out. Okay, and how do you do that? Okay, how do you do that? So that said, this is usually normally your essay should be about 2 minutes or so. When they take time to read it, that's the maximum amount of time that they would read your essay, is about 2 minutes, okay, or less. Most of them are actually less. So what I want you to do now, okay, what I want you to do is just to answer this question right here, and pause your video. You pause this video. You don't have to write anything down, but what I want you to do is just kind of sit there and just say, okay, just say why, why are you applying for the program? Why are you applying for this specific program? Regardless what the program you have, like if you were interested in nursing, pharmacy, dental, medical, whatever program you're applying to, PA. Okay, so why are you applying for that program? And also why they should pick you. Okay, why should they pick you? Not someone else. Why you? Okay, you have less than 2 minutes to answer this question. Okay, so pause this video and start answering that question, and time yourself. See, you give yourself less than 2 minutes to answer that and see what you come up with. Okay. Okay, so if um, hopefully you answer those questions uh, correctly. Okay, first of all, you need to answer it correctly. Please make sure when you answer these questions, you're not answering what you will be doing in the future. In a sense, you're not answering like, okay, I want to be a PA, then because I could actually become a surgeon. I want to do surgery, kind of assist in the surgery. Um, that's not why you be wanting to become a PA. You actually just answer what you want to do in the future, what kind of things you want to do in the future. So there's a difference between those. So make sure you actually answer the question correctly. Okay, that's one. Second thing, what I want you to think about is what would you rate yourself? Okay, what would you rate yourself with the little spiel that you just gave? A minute to 2 minute spiel. What grade would you give yourself? Would you give yourself an A, B, C, D, or F? Okay, be honest. Be honest to yourself. What do you think that was? How did that go? good, bad, okay. Okay. And you probably don't like your answer. Uh, Most likely, you may not score as high. Okay, most likely. So think about that. Think about um, what kind of grade would you give yourself. Okay, so keep that in mind. So when you answer these questions, actually, this will be your interview question. I guarantee you, it's the question they will start off with. Okay, it's the question that they're gonna start off with your interview. Either this one or they're gonna ask you, tell me about yourself. Okay, why are you interested in this program? That's the kind of question you expect to see during your interview. Guarantee. Okay, so how should you answer this question? First thing I want you to remember is the rule of three. Okay, rule of three. The rule of three is actually very powerful because we like to compartmentalize things in three. Okay, when we compartmentalize things in three, it makes it a little bit easier to follow. Okay, make it a little easier for the audience to follow. And we love this three. If you look at the numbers of trilogies, okay, movies that have trilogy, books that have trilogies, how many of them are there? Okay, um, so because we like things to end in threes, makes it a little bit easier. Not too long, not too short. Three is just the right number. Okay. And when you go to your interviews, when they ask these kind of questions, you want to also answer it in threes. Okay. It leave a good impression for the interviewers because they kind of be able to follow you and you have enough reason kind of back up your process, your reasoning process. Okay, one is too little, two is not enough, and three is just right. Okay, so keep that in mind. Um, so um, think of three reasons why do you want to go into the program. Okay, why do you want to go into the program? This is tip number one. Are you going into the program that you're going to? And if one of your answer is to help people, okay, your paper and your interview will go down the drain. Okay, honestly, that's one of um, the worst answer that you could come up with is to help people, because helping people, you could help people with being a janitor. You could help people being garbage collector. You could help people being a scientist. You could change the world with being a scientist. You could help people by building cars. So why medicine? Why do you want to go into medicine? Okay, you need a little bit more concrete than just helping people. I want to help people. Okay, you want a little bit more concrete. Your answer should be a little more solid than just saying, I want to help people. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. Come up with three reasons. Okay, three reasons. And these three reasons, and kind of interject a little bit too, uh, you want to show yourself. You want to kind of show your part of you. When you write this essay, when you actually do an interview, you want to show them who you are. You want to show them this is a piece of you that you are presenting. This is a part of you. So they get to know you, what you are like. Okay, they get to know you. So it's important to keep that in mind um, because a lot of times you kind of lose the essence of who you are by trying to be something you're not. Okay, you're trying to doing too much. You're trying to go overboard. You're trying to really impress someone. When you're trying to do that, people could tell. People could tell that you're trying to impress them. And when that happens, things do not turn out so well. Okay, so don't try to do too much, but just be you and be able to show that essence through those answers. To elaborate a little bit more, if these answers could be a variety of things, and we'll get more to detail, just one specific detail. But one thing I want you to keep in mind is that this answer could be tailored to you, including. I know this is risky, and it's maybe sound kind of turn off, but including your religion, your belief, your background. Okay, if 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 you really are passionate, like for example, if you are a Christian and you want to kind of talk about your passion of following Christ, that could be one of your reasons. Yes, it can be one of your reasons, and they cannot discriminate against those reasons because that would be illegal to do so. Okay, or if you are Buddhist and you want to say that by helping other people you achieve your Zen, your really help you attain that nirvana, or making peace with yourself, or helping balancing the nature. That's who you are, and that's okay. That's completely okay. Okay, but show that essence of yourself. Okay, you can put those in. Okay, you can show that part of yourself. uh, I wouldn't do more than one reason. I would not do more than one reason. I would limit it to one. And then the other reason would be other part of you. Okay. Other reason would be other part of you. So that's something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. And people I know can be a little bit sensitive about this topic, but technically speaking, it's your belief. They cannot dispute your beliefs because that's who you are and that's what you believe in, and that's perfectly okay. If they start disputing those beliefs, that means you don't want to be there in the first place, and second, they are doing things against the law. Okay, um, there's big affirmative action that you can actually file a lawsuit against. So, uh, but keep in mind, you can actually interject that part of yourself as well. Okay. A lot of time people say, no, don't do that. You don't want to kind of go on that gray area. But trust me, I think it really show a complete part of yourself rather than, leaving it out. I think it actually make your essay become much stronger. It makes your interview become much stronger as well. Kind of giving people a complete picture of who you are. Okay. See, so those are three reasons to come up with your three reasons. What are the three reasons why you want to go into a program and why they should be picking you? Okay, why they should be picking you. Number two, this be you. Like I mentioned before, be genuine, be you. Don't try to do too much or too little. Be you. Just kind of show that essence of who you are in that paper. Okay, and this is not academic writing. Not academic writing, meaning that you don't have to go fancy. You don't have to use fancy schmancy terms. Don't do any of those. Completely avoid those. In fact, um, just be you. Okay, you know, uh, your paper. This is more of a reflection paper, meaning that it's paper to reflect you, what who you are. Okay, um, so and this is not a novel. I had a student trying to write as a novel. Okay, trying to make it as a novel, kind of start describing the color of the wind, describing the color of the sunset in the background. And no, this is not a novel. Don't do any of that. Okay. It turns the reader off. It turns the mission officer off. Like, what are you talking about? You're not getting. You're not. This is not a school of. You're not going to a school to become the bestseller. In writing a book or a novel, you're going to a medical program. You're going to learn about science and medical program. So, and this is not academic writing. You're not writing to be published. Okay, so this is the writing just to reflect who you are. So be genuine, Be simple, straightforward, be who you are. Okay. Tip number 3 is to highlight your passion and showcase your experience. Okay. Uh, in those reasons that you have, those reasons that you are writing down, okay, make sure you are, be able to highlight your experience, what you have done in the past, experience that, reflecting personal experience goes a long way. And we're going to talk more about that too. But, if you had experience in medical field, make sure you mention it. Make sure you use it one of your reasons. Okay. One of your reasons you should say that, I had certain event happen in the medical field and really have, changed my how that impact you and how has that actually changed your view of medicine and how you want to do things better. Okay. So make sure you do this. Okay. Um, and try not to be the Miss Pageant, Miss USA. Don't go those answers. Just say, you know what, I want to make the world better. I want to I want to love everyone. I want to make the world better. That's not what they're looking for. That's just be you and trying to just talk about your experience that you had and your viewpoint of those experiences as well. Okay. So next, what I want you to do is to look at the draft, the first draft, okay, of the essay that actually attached with this file. Okay, make sure you read that first draft. You again could pause this video, take about a minute or two to read it, just like the real admission officer would do. And I want you to rate that, and I want you to kind of say it out or write it down. What kind of things kind of went wrong in that draft, first draft? Okay, what are the things that kind of went really wrong? Okay. If you were to be an admission officer, uh, what grade would you give that first draft, draft number 1? Okay, what grade would you give that? And what would you do? What would you do with? Would you invite that person for an interview? Okay. Would you invite that person interview? Okay, so pause this video and look at that graph and see what you think. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so how many of you would invite that person for an interview? Okay, just kind of think about that. And would you invite that person for an interview? And the answer, likely, most likely, no. Okay, looking at that first draft, there's no way I would invite that person to an interview. Because in that paper, things just kind of scatter all over the place. There's no directions. He was applying for a dental program and then to become a dentist. Um, and in there, you couldn't even tell why he wants to be a dentist in there. Not at all. Okay. Kind of talk about that in the second paragraph, which you completely lost, um, lost the attention already after the first one, because the first one, I don't know, just kind of big, huge mumbo jumbo, just going from one point to another point to another point. It's no transition whatsoever in those. Okay, so okay, so keep that in mind. So this is important. The first paragraph is one of the most important things because you want to hook the audience and you want to hook the person who's reading your paper, reading your essay in, and kind of make them want to get to know you. Okay, so you want a strong hook, and the way you create a strong hook is use one of your life events that makes you want to become the profession you want to become. Okay. Uh, okay. So make your life just talk about that life event. Just pick one event that life-changing event that really makes you become passionate about medicine. Make sure things that happen to you directly, uh, that making you want to go into medicine, into nursing, to doctor, to medical field. What is that one event? And I want you to talk about that in one event. For example, for me, um, when after I came out from high school, I actually went straight in to become a medical assistant. Okay, and um, I still remember to this day, uh, as a medical assistant, I actually was lucky enough, privileged enough to actually work at the urgent care. And this urgent care was in California and is always packed in the evening. Okay, I have the afternoon shift. The urgent care opens all the way to 11 to midnight. Um, and it's always packed from 3 p.m., 4 p.m. on all the way to midnight. And for many people, that packed scene of urgent care, having, at least 50 people cramming in there and waiting to be seen by a doctor, by nurses and medical assistant, many people might think, hey, I want to do other profession. But for me, it was fun. It was exciting. It was something new. I get to experience and see things that I've never seen before. And every time I see the patient, it become more excited. Okay, um, keep kept me through and kept me wanting to learn more about medicine, to learn more how to treat people, to help people. Okay, so I used that experience and then put that in and as a part of my uh, introduction, grabbing people in, grabbing people attention. Okay, which brings to the next point, tip number 5. Real life is boring. Okay, real life is boring. So the experience I just mentioned to you is fairly straightforward, not a lot of color to it, not a lot of colorful stuff in it. So you want to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Uh, if you think about all of the movies, that based on real event, real story, the real event itself is not that exciting. But Hollywood kind of put a little sprinkle of fun, of dramatization, make it a little bit more colorful than what it's supposed to be. Okay, so that's what I want you to do as well. Your paper, kind of add a little jazz, a pizzazz in those story. Okay, make it a little bit more exciting, make it a little bit more colorful. Okay, again, real life story may not be that exciting. If some of you might have a really exciting story, okay, some of you might your struggles, things that you went through might be really interesting, and that's all it needs. But if your story is not as colorful, not as exciting, I want you to make it a little bit more exciting by adding on to that. They're not gonna Honestly, they're not gonna have time to fact check all of your events in your life that happen, whether that's actually an actual event. The point of it is you want them to be excited and they want to learn more about you, so they invite you to the next stage of experience of the interview. Okay, that's the point. Okay, that's the point. So what you need to do, kind of dramatization, so kind of just put a little jazz in it to make it really interesting event. Okay, and next tip to remember: every story, people love happy ending. Okay, every story. They don't like a sad ending. They don't like you to left them hanging and don't know what's going on. And you want to tie your story. Okay, you want to make it happy ending, and you want to tie that story to become inspirational for you, that you want to actually go into medicine. Okay, so that story, whatever story you have, your life story, make it, exciting, make it riveting, trying to think of the word, riveting, exciting, and just wanting to learn more about you because you're tying all of those into why you want, one of the reasons why you want to go into medicine. Okay. You want to kind of have a story that kind of address some challenges, some adversities, and you how you overcome those challenge and those adversities. Uh, that's the story what people are looking for. That's the story that they want to see. That's the story that they want to hear. So, and that's the story that I want you to think about. Okay, I want you to create that story. Okay. Um, Now I want you to actually take a little bit of time, read the second draft. Okay, read this third draft, I believe. Okay, reading the third draft on there and compare the differences between the first one and the third one. Compare the first introduction paragraph versus the third draft that you see. Okay, how is the introduction actually changed and how the tone a change and we make the paper become more interesting. Okay, so pause this video and again take a couple of minutes, just like real the admission officer, how would they read those paper, and then um, determine what you think of it. Okay, welcome back. So what do you see? You see any differences between the two drafts? Again, that may not be the final draft. That is not a final draft that he actually made. Um, but you could see the big change between the paragraph, especially in the introduction. The the third draft that he actually made was more interesting. Definitely kind of much better than the first one. Still hasn't addressed a couple of issues. Hasn't only addressed why he wants to become a dentist. So still room for improvement. He actually made one more draft, um, but just letting you know that paper that you just read, uh, he applied for the dental program to become a dentist at AT Still University here in Mesa, Arizona, and he actually got accepted in, and he will be starting the program in August of 2024. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so that's what I want you to do as well. If you think that you could write better, and there's a lot of things that you can improve, that's good. That's great, because that's precisely what this video gonna help you and help you do is to actually have you think and reflect on other people's writing, and then apply to your own writing, and then make your writing better. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so that's good. A few more tips, a last few tips that you should know. First, you need to proofread at least 5 times. You need to read it over and over and over again at least 5 times. Okay, you are never done with that paper. You're gonna keep reading it until you get sick of it. Okay, you're gonna keep reading it and fix it, reading it and fix it, reading it and fix it at least 5 times. Okay, or more. Okay, and that's mean between each major draft. Okay, each major draft, you want to keep fixing those drafts. Okay, next tips, very important, is seek feedback. Okay, not just one person, a few people. Okay, ask your professor, instructors to actually uh, help you with these feedback. Okay, ask your instructor, say, hey, can you help me? I'm trying to apply for nursing school, applying for medical school, and I'm actually have this essay. Can you help me? Give me some feedback regarding this essay. We've been through these process before. Okay, every single professor that you talk to, all been through this process. Okay, we went to graduate program, we went to graduate school, and we did pretty much the same process that you are doing now. So we know how tough it is. We know what the expectation is, and we know how to help you improve your essay. Okay. But please make sure, give them leeway of time, not just say, hey, can you read this? And then I need by tonight or I need by this Friday because I have to turn it in this Friday. No. Okay. And big answer will be big and no, no. So make sure you do it ahead of time. Make sure you give plenty of time, at least a few weeks, even a month or so. Um, so give uh, these instructor and professor time for them to read your paper. They're not just gonna drop everything they have in their lives just to read your paper. They're not getting paid for reading your paper. Okay, so make sure give them time. Okay, don't expect things to be done right away. Okay, and the last tips, really important one, to follow the instruction and all of the prompts, all of the questions and prompts that they have. Each college, each school have a different prompts, so make sure you actually answer those prompts properly, answer those questions properly, follow the instruction. You'll be amazed how many people do not follow instructions and get used to it because you're going to be follow every single instruction in medicine. And it's now more important than ever before because people don't follow instruction. And then that's how you get yourself in trouble. Not following instructions, especially we see that quite a bit during pandemic. Okay, quite a bit during the pandemic. They don't follow instruction from the FDA. They don't follow instruction from how they should be practicing based on what they do, um, and they get themselves in trouble, big trouble. Okay, so make sure you follow instruction, answer all the prompts. Okay, again, um, this is pretty much the the portion of how you should um, write your essay paper. Okay, if you have any question, please let me know. Again, my name is Dr. Ben Pandit. Um, you definitely can let me know. Also, the rest of this PowerPoint, which you do have, kind of go over all the careers that in medical field, and you could check them out. List of medical professions. People oftentimes is focusing on one thing, let's say like doctor, nurses. In medical program, there are actually more than doctor and nurses, or even PA. So there's other professions as well. So um, if I would recommend checking this out, and pretty much easy to go through, just kind of list of things and also links as well. So check those out. See which one it's actually interesting to you. Again, you want to be precise. Okay, you want to be precise. You don't need to go for a medical career like big name medical career to actually earn good livings. For instance, right here you could see uh, anesthesiologist assistant making 200 grand a year, $200,000 a year. And this is without going to a medical program. This is without going to medical school. Okay, they have a 4-year degree. 4-year degree could be in science, could be anything, but they have the prereq that they have to complete. Once they complete those prereq, and they go to a master degree program for anesthesiology, or I think they might change that to become a doctorate program now. But going through those, 2, 3 years or 4-year program, and then voila, you could come out and practice as an anesthesiologist assistant. Okay, and that's earn pretty good living. There's a lot of career here that actually earn really good living, and one of them people usually don't talk about is this genetic counselor. Genetic counselor actually earn at least 60 between $90,000. You look at the first. Actually, there's a slide down show you that they earn about $90,000 a year. Um, $90,000 a year, and not a lot of people actually go into it. This is one of the really quiet career no one really talks about. But they earn a good living, and they actually have flexibility working from home. You don't need to actually go into the office. I think many of them only go in once a week. Most of them, they actually work a lot. So if you want to have your family, kids, definitely is a good field to go into. Really good field to go into. And all you do is you pretty much talk to your patient about the genetic tests. They'll be running different genetic tests for breast cancer, there's many different ones. Usually the main one you're going to talk about is the cancer one, oncology, and also birth defects or birth genetic defects. So usually that's kind of the realm of genetic counselor, and sometimes you could do like OB stuff, like gyne and OB stuff as well. But for the most part, you're going to be talking about those, and you're going to be finding out who else in the family might have the disease and whatnot. So doctors usually don't have time. PA doctors, NP don't have time to sit down with the patient and really talk about these, and they pay these folks really well to actually talk about these things. Okay, so check that out. You want to think about those. There's other careers that you could go into as well. So lots of career. There's differences between PharmD and PhD. You might want to know that. If you want to become a pharmacist, PharmD, usually the one that you see at Walgreens, CVS. PhD is do a lot more kind of research, also teaching as well. So a really good field to go into. Really, there's lots of perks working with pharmaceutical company, and being a PharmD is one of the few degrees that you could actually getting paid while you're in school. You cannot do that when you're a doctor, and you cannot do that being a nurse, but you definitely can do that as a PharmD student. Okay, you do get paid while you're actually doing your internship. Okay, that's how much is needed at this point. You could go into podiatry, psychiatry. So there's lots of one. One thing I want to point out, really cool degree that people don't really think about is school counselor. School counselor is really needed, especially now today. Lots of kids going through a lot of isolation in school. Technically, you're not really counseling them. You actually are more like a resource officer. Technically, you just kind of in touch with them a little bit, talk about a little bit, and then send them out to really see a counselor. Send them out to see the resources that they need. So you're just kind of like a middleman trying to find a resource. Great pay, and it's also you work with the school schedule, which means that you have three months off, 2 or 3 months off a year. So wonderful career which people really don't think about, and all you need is a master degree to get into that. Okay. Other things, you could have radiology as well. I would avoid become a radiologist, and I think that's the dead end degree. Soon that will phase out. So again, reproductive, you could become obstetrician, gynecologist, you could the OBGYN, midwife, lactation consultant, usually an RN doing that, doula. You don't have a degree, you don't need a degree, just certification to become a doula. Those are people who actually help during birth. Urologist, this is a good site to go into. Healthcare occupations, looking at different healthcare fields, looking at the career and the money that you would make for these jobs, and which one is in demand as well. So genetic counselor is one of them that I mentioned earlier. It's highly in demand. This is for CAM, complementary alternative medicine. Acupuncturist, really good money as well. Chiropractor, massage therapist, naturopathic physician, Reiki instructor, healers, homeopath, reflexology, kinesiologist. So there's a lot of degree that you could go into. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay. If you have any other question, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Dr. Ben Pandit. I'll be glad to answer any question for you. Okay, you could contact me by my email is benjamin.pundit, PUNDIT, @mesacc.edu. Okay, take care and have a wonderful day.